Hi guys, so here I am finally doing videos. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kim. I'm also known as Star the Good Witch. I normally write articles on the moon cycles and energy updates. You can find me at siderealist.com. I also have a group and a page on Facebook called Star 13 Star Sign Astrology, and I'm on Instagram as Good Witch UK. But I will link all these below anyway. I will be doing more videos explaining 13 star sign astrology, the constellation of Ophiuchus and the Black Moon Lilith in the near future. But for now, I want to talk about the Lionsgate portal from a 13 star sign perspective. The energy of the Lionsgate has been building up since the full blood moon, which occurred on the 27th of July. But there are 5 days where the actual event takes place, which is the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th of August. In Western astrology, they say that the sun is already in Leo, but in the true lifetime sky, in which 13 star sign astrology is based on, it actually shows that the sun is still in Cancer, and as we are working with the energy here, it's important that we are aware of the correct energy coming in. The sun will remain in Cancer up until the 10th of August and will transition from Cancer into Leo early evening in the GMT Timezone and early afternoon in the EDT Timezone. So in all, we have the sun in Cancer for 2.5 days and the sun in Leo for 2.5 days. And this makes perfect sense to me because the Lionsgate works with the third eye chakra, which is represented by Cancer, and it works with the heart chakra, which is represented by Leo. The Lionsgate is about alignment, and it offers us an opportunity to bring our chakra points into balance and an activation of the third eye and heart chakras. You know, this is a time for manifestation and creativity. We will also be awakening to new frequencies and connecting to our higher consciousness throughout this time. Sound and crystal therapies would be highly beneficial, as Sirius is closest to Earth at this time and is in alignment to the pyramids. But the most important thing is to make the most of this energy by going along with the shifts that are taking place and having faith that they will put us where we need to be. So while our sun is in Cancer, which is the feminine energy, we will need to work hard on releasing our emotional and creative blocks. Both Cancer and Leo are creative energies, except Cancer's creative energy is more inhibited or introverted. So while the sun is in Cancer, we could come into realization of hidden gifts. Leo's creative energy is more extroverted, plus Leo's love recognition and limelight. So this energy will help us to gain the confidence to express our talents. The sun is ruled by the moon and Leo is ruled by the sun. So this portal is all about connecting to our higher consciousness and to release any obstacles that prevents our soul's growth. It allows our hearts to open without fear or feelings of vulnerability. We've been doing a lot of releasing over the last few months with the moon eclipses, summer solstice, and the fact that it's retrograde season has brought in a lot of intense energy that's forced us to take a good look at our lives, our situations, and our way of thinking and feeling. There has been a lot of shifts and realizations taking place, so this will continue throughout the Lionsgate as the energies will actually be reaching their peak. Day 1 of the Lionsgate portal takes place on the 8th of August in the sign of Cancer. Cancer's symbol is a crab, and crabs tend to live in the shadows. The number 8 is the infinity symbol, which is a repetitive pattern and represents karma and reaping what we've sown. As we are in the retrograde season, this day, the 8th of August, will bring up a further realization and clarity regarding our life's path. We will see what cycles need to be broken so that we can move forward and spiral upwards onto a new level towards new experiences and further growth. Cancer is a sign that is very self-protective, but also very caring and nurturing, but often at the expense of our own needs. So this would be a good day for self-nurture and seeking a balance between our needs and the needs of others. The aspects to our sun in Cancer will bring up a lot of emotions regarding family relationships and also past and present intimate relationships. This is a time of pattern recognition and synchronicities. Some of you are aware of the synchronicities that have been taking place in your lives, especially when it's coming through music, nature or numbers. I myself have been seeing the sequence 2222 for the last 2 years. But lately I have been seeing 1111, 1313, 1414, etc. in between the 2222 sequence. And it's really ramped up actually. You know, all these number sequences have really been coming in fast and furious, I'd say, over the last 2 to 3 months. You know, for the whole of July, I kept seeing 3 crows. You know, even when I went to visit a friend on the other side of London, there were 3 crows outside her window. And it was the following week, a major shift happened, and I felt this really big emotional release with someone I know. And, you know, but it brought me to a big realisation that, you know, I hadn't realised before. So, you know, this all took place before the blood moon. And fortunately since then I've been seeing a lot of butterflies, so it's been quite a relief to see those. So watch out for signs and synchronicities if you haven't already, because while the sun is in Cancer, it is our third eye chakra that's being activated. The one thing we must be beware of is overthinking things. It's important that we keep it simple and stay grounded. Some will be going through a reflection regarding their childhood conditioning. So, you know, stuff from the past may surface to be looked at and to be healed. So this day, the 8th of August, should be about quiet reflection, self-nurture and nourishment. You know, it's really vital that we take good care of our bodies as well, our health. Especially if we've been neglecting our health with all the intense energies that have been coming in. Day 2 of the Lion's Gate takes place on the 9th of August. 9 is the number of completion, wishes fulfilled, and ridding ourselves of things that no longer serve our purpose, so that we can make room for the new cycle coming in. The sun will still be in the sign of Cancer, and it could be quite a challenging day for many, as there will be an urge to take action. But at the same time, we'll feel inhibited. On the 9th of August, there will be 3 planets, our moon and 2 asteroids forming a grand aspect, which is the Star of David. This configuration opens our consciousness and forces us out of our shell to reveal and express our talents. So on this day, we are being urged to embrace the softer side of our natures and to allow our inner child to come out and play. You know, singing and chanting would also be a good thing to do as a form of release. Sound and voice expression will be very potent during this time. Even if we just pray out loud, you know, whatever your thing is, voice it. What we must be aware of on the 9th of August is allowing ourselves to sink into a depression. Uranus also comes out of shadow into full retrograde mode. Uranus acts fast and suddenly, and in areas who already is a fast energy. You know, some may find that the rug gets pulled out from under their feet. This energy, though, is good for clearing our minds of negative thinking. But it could be quite a chaotic time, but also a very positive time. The Star of David takes place in the elements of fire and water, which creates a double masculine and feminine energy. So now is the time to start bringing into balance our ego and our emotions. Day 3 of the Lion's Gate takes place on the 10th of August. Initially the sun will rise in Cancer, but it will set in Leo. Today is a dual day, a day of transition, 10 represents the start of a new cycle, as 1 and 0 takes us back to 1. But the number 10 is also the binary code. And as we are now at the door of the Lionsgate portal, new light codes and DNA activations will start to flood in. This is also a time where an alignment of the third eye chakra and the heart chakra takes place, and where manifestations will reach their peak. On this day, the 10th of August, we will be able to see the bigger picture with regards to any difficulties we are facing with past or present relationships, including the relationship we have with ourselves. As the sun leaves Cancer and enters into Leo, we will start to feel more confident about expressing ourselves as our heart chakra opens. We will finally be able to release stagnant emotions and speak from our hearts. We won't be able to suppress our emotions any longer, as the energy coming in is at its most intense at this time. But this is designed to create a shift of our conscious and unconscious mind and feelings of restriction. The more we resist this process, is the more pressured we will feel. We must surrender to the process and not allow our ego to get in the way. Our energy levels will be high, so we will need to work on keeping it under control. Today should be about letting go of negative thoughts, feelings and patterns that keep us stuck in a rut. Day 4 of the Lionsgate portal takes place on, why I refer to my notes? Oh yeah, the 11th of August, which is also the day of the new moon solar eclipse. So the new moon begins at 0 degrees in Leo. This is the gateway to the higher realms, where a full realization, unity and enlightenment takes place. This day, the 11th of August, will be a much more positive day, where our strength and confidence returns. Well, that's as long as we've been putting in the work and not being in resistance to the shifts that have been taking place. So this will be a day of soul connections, and we will be observing the people around us and recognising who is on our wavelength and who isn't. The new moon represents new beginnings, so it's important that we set our intentions clearly for the new cycle. The aspects show that we are able to face our responsibilities with ease on this day, but must beware of being overly optimistic or egoistical. Day 5 of the Lionsgate takes place on the 12th of August. 12 is considered a sacred number and adds up to the number 3, which represents a union of spiritual energy manifesting into the physical, creativity, and it's also the bringer of change. We will now start to see what we have been manifesting, either consciously or unconsciously, into our physical world. This day is a day of action, but we must be mindful of how we relate or communicate with others. If we still feel like we are living our lives to please other people, then we will need to take a step back and continue to work on self-nurture, or just be brave enough to say enough is enough. The 8th and the 10th are the most intense days, where we are likely to feel drained, tired and fearful. This is because the Black Moon Lilith will be at her most active, bringing to the surface uncomfortable feelings or realizations. The 9th and the 11th are the days to set new intentions and meditate on our third eye and heart chakras. Well, the 9th, I would suggest the third eye chakra, and the 11th, the heart chakra. The 12th of August will be about unity and change. The asteroid Vesta is the goddess of the sacred fire, and she will be in Ophiuchus throughout the Lionsgate portal. Vesta represents the hearth and the home. Ophiuchus is the divine feminine and rules all things metaphysical. Her ruling planet was Tiamat, which is now the asteroid belt, so all asteroids are pieces of her nature, including Vesta. Throughout the Lionsgate portal, Vesta is urging us to take a good look at our environments, as our outer world will reflect our inner world, So this would be a good way to see what's going on in our unconscious mind. So I would also highly recommend Feng Shui throughout this time. On the 9th, Vesta will be enshrined to retrograde Mercury. So there will be a pull towards sacred knowledge and a reflection of what we have already learned. I strongly felt the energy of the scarab while I was looking at the chart wheel. You know, the scarab represents the rising sun, rebirth and creativity, also regeneration, new cycles. So I feel that meditating at sunrise will be highly potent for the manifestation during these 5 days. I suggest that we meditate as much as possible throughout the Lion's Gate. Yoga, Tai Chi or any form of martial art will also be good to keep our bodies flexible, as the intense energies coming in will cause tension and a few aches and pains. Headaches and chest problems will also be felt. It is important that we nourish our mind, body and soul through the Lion's Gate portal for strength and grounding. So the intention I've set, or the affirmation I've set for this Lion's Gate is, I open my heart to unconditional love and happiness and release all inhibitions that keep me locked in low self-esteem. Okay guys, so that's your energy update for the Lion's Gate portal. As always, I will welcome your feedback. So yeah, please feel free to do that. So yeah, peace and much love.